Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys Batman Fighting the Frozen Batman. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Alright, before we get started with review, I just wanted to let you guys know if you want this figure in your collection and you don't have him already, you can do so over at Amazon. He is in stock and ready to ship, and as of the time of this recording, and the link is down in the description below. And just keep in mind that if you do order through the Amazon link below, it will help out the channel with a few pennies. But starting off, this is the very first, I believe this is the very first Page Punchers figure that I've ever bought from McFarlane Toys. It says it includes an exclusive comic book in the English language. You do get it in that nice clamshell, and I think that is to keep the comic book protected in the background, so you can see everything he comes with here. Looking really nice. Flipping around here on the back, really nothing else going on. Just has the DC logo and then the Page Punchers information there on the bottom. Opening it up, you do get a bunch of accessories here. You do get a nice new card done in a different style. I guess this is the Page Puncher style of card. You get that standard DC base, and he does come with 2 bat weapons. And then taking a closer look at the figure here, just standing straight up and down, and there's a lot going on here, and there's a lot of sculpt and a lot of really nice detail in this figure. You can see that he does have on like this bat cowl mask made out of some either dead bat creature, or he's fabricated it out of some sort of leather or hide. Has some nice fur around the shoulders and the neck piece. The stone carved bat symbol on his chest looks really cool. I love like this crude, like ancient barbarian caveman style bat utility belt he's got going on. The telltale scallops on the spikes on the gauntlets looks really nice. The little cloth hanging down in the front, and of course the different style of boots that he has. I like that this character is very asymmetrical. Like the gauntlet on his right hand has a hand guard, whereas the gauntlet on the left does not. And I like that the boot on the left leg has got like some sort of teeth. I don't know if that's from a bear or whatever, or a shark or whatever, but he's got some teeth there, but also a knee pad, whereas the other boot is just like fur, which looks really cool. Flipping around here on the back, you can see more of that sort of stitched detail on the back of his cowl, some more of that fur that's going down his shoulders and back, and then the cape, which is nicely frayed and leather textured and then kind of crudely sewn together, which looks really cool as well. All right, taking a closer look at the card, it's got some beautiful artwork from the front cover of the comic. You can pause that if you want to sort of read that, and it's a little synopsis of the comic itself. Here is the comic. I believe all the comics in this wave are the same, except for the colors. The covers are different. This is a pretty quick story, basically. The Frozen, which is Mr. Freeze is, of course, trying to bring back his wife, Nora. Something goes wrong, and it sends him back, like back to the caveman times. You see here is Batman here. Robin shows up. We see, of course, Batgirl, who is in this wave as well, and they go off to fight Mr. Freeze, also known as the Frozen. There's not a lot of action, a lot of setup, not a lot of action here. And then, it sort of ends with Batman and the team sort of defeating Mr. Freeze right here. And then there's really no resolution. It just kind of ends. We really don't know what happens to Mr. Freeze in the end. And then, of course, we get a bunch of product shots from McFarlane Toys. But a nice little comic. Like I said, I think they're all the same, only the covers are different throughout this wave. Taking a closer look at the weapons that he comes with, he does come with this like small axe, which does look like the top of the Batman logo. It looks like, if you were to cover that up, that looks like the top of the Batman logo, which looks really neat. And then, of course, we do have a bat axe here. It looks, of course, very similar to the bat symbol as well, which is really cool. I like the wood texture, the stone texture, and the wrapping. And now moving on to the figure itself, there's a lot of really cool detail going on here. I really dig this figure. It looks really nice, from the leather, the stitching, the texture, his face, the stonework, the fur work. There's a lot really going on here. Now, there's also a lot of soft goods, soft leather, plastic, I should say. Even the bat symbol on the front is a very soft, rubbery material, so you don't have to worry about poking yourself. The cape is very soft and pliable. About the only thing that's not soft and pliable are these spikes on his wrist gauntlets. Everything else is very soft and to the touch, which is really cool. You're not going to, poke yourself too hard. Look at that face. I mean, that is a face that has seen some battle. There's a lot of pitting and scarring on his face. I love the texture on the cowl. The bright white eyes looks really nice. He's got some scarring all over his lips and chin. I love the texture on the fur and on the bat symbol on his chest. Flipping around here on the back, you can see more of that leather texture and stitching. This bat utility belt is amazing. I love the bat symbol on the front, which looks really cool. The dry brushing. You've got some spearheads here, even a crude like batarang, like an old school batarang. He's got a rope for climbing, which is really cool. Those leather flaps continue on around the back. You can see some nice fur work. Look at the teeth and how the dry brushing and the paint work. There's a lot of paint apps on this figure, even though it's only a very limited color palette. I really dig it. I like the vein work on the arms and everything. He looks great. This is just a very well sculpted Batman, and one that I didn't know I was going to be this impressed with. Now, he can't really look up at all. He really can't look up. But he can look down just a little bit. You do get some tilt and some rotation there. So not a lot of head movement, but you get what you get. The arms do go all the way out on the sides to hit that T-pose. They have big shoulder connectors. So not much of a butterfly joint at all, but you can go all the way out. You've got that upper thigh cut, double jointed elbows, no gauntlet cut, and a horizontal hinge and swivel. It's a ball peg. So yeah, you get vertical and horizontal movement out of that. I forgot about that. He does have a really nice upper diaphragm, and he can crunch forward really far, which is really cool. And he can lean back about that far. Nice waist swivel on this guy too. McFarlane toys, the legs don't move the greatest. I do like this under part, the way it's textured. His legs can go all the way out to the side. And about that far forward and back. He does have the double jointed knees, but because of the fur boots, you're not going to get much further than that. He has no, not really any upper thigh cut, no upper boot cut, and then of course, you got your hinge, swivel, and pivot, and toe articulation down at the feet. But man, this guy looks really, really cool. I want to try to get some of these weapons in his hands. Now, his hands are a little pliable. The fingers do kind of get out of the way to be able to hold his weapons, which looks really cool. And this guy's kind of menacing. I really bought this guy really for one particular reason and one reason only, and that's because, honestly, I'm going to chop him apart. I'm going to pull most of this equipment off of him and see if I can do a Mythic Legions custom. So that'll be coming in the future, so you'll definitely want to stay tuned for that to see how that turns out. As far as height comparisons go, I did want to bring in another McFarlane Toys Batman. Here he is next to the Hush Batman. So you can see they're roughly the same size there when it comes to McFarlane. I did want to bring in a Black Series Luke Skywalker to show you how he compares to Black Series. He just kind of towers over that line, of course. Bring in old Indiana Jones here and see how he compares to him. Let's get this guy out of the way. Let's see here. I did want to bring in because this is a very comparable toy line, I did want to bring in Barbarian He-Man. This is a comparable, sized figure. You can see how they compare to one another. Sculpting in detail here is not a comparison, but I think the comparison that everybody wants to see is how he stacks with Mythic Legion. So we're bringing in our new mascot, our new buddy here, Bill Bones, Broken Shield, and you can see he scales very well with Mythic Legions if you just wanted to throw him in. But like I said, I'm going to kind of cut some of these parts and pieces off, and I'm going to see how I can customize this guy and make my own Mythic Legions Batman tribute figure. Man, I got to tell you, I was not expecting to like this figure at all. I'm kind of getting out of McFarlane toys altogether, just because they have very low resale value with the exception of a few figures. So I'm going to just kind of like stop collecting them. I'm only going to pick and choose just one or two here or there. But for the most part, I'm kind of getting out of this line. But I really picked this figure up just so that I can use the parts for a custom Batman figure for my Mythic Legions, because I have a custom Hellboy figure and I really wanted it to see if I can add like a custom Batman to that. So that's why I bought this figure. But after getting him opened up and playing with him, I really like the way he looks, the way he moves, the stuff he comes with. He comes with a good amount of accessories and detail that really round out this character. Now, I'm not getting any of the other figures in this wave, just this one, but man, I am glad that I got a chance to pick him up, play with him, and move him around and see how he poses up. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. Please continue to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am the Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I'm your host, Mark, and remember, I will see you in the toy aisles.